Hey guys, Gale Force Online, here to bring you another one of my trash builds. Now this is my Sorcerer Jack of all trades, part 2. So in the previous one I had a DPS setup, this one is the healing setup, and I also put out a tank in a PvP setup. Now the skills change around, but most of my inventory stays pretty much the same for this build, so I can swap it around between roles quite easily and just have a lot more versatility in what I'm able to do with this build. Alright, so just show you the differences that I made. So equipped a restoration staff instead of the inferno staff, but still new moon accolades, so it increases my weapon and spell damage by 464, but it also increases the cost of my abilities by 5%. Then I just swapped my monster helm and shoulders over, so it adds 4% healing done as opposed to the 130 spell damage increase. And same thing with the shoulders. Alright, so let's take a look at the character. So 30k max magicka is a very nice pool to pull from. 24k health, which is fairly high for a healer, but extra health is definitely appreciated. Spell damage is sitting at about 3500 unbuffed, and spell and physical resistance is sitting about 19 and 15k. Magicka recovery is pretty low though at 751, so you probably want to push that to over 1000 if you're going to be exclusively healing. Because of the versatility of the build, you have to make certain sacrifices in spots in order to create that diversity of roles you need to fulfill. Also have extra critical resistance there. Doesn't apply at all if you're in PvE healing, but PvP can definitely come in handy to have that critical resistance. Alright, so taking a look at the skill setup. So I have Blessing of Restoration from the Restoration skill line. So it does initial heal of 9800 and also increases the resistances of allies in front of me for 1320 for 16 seconds. So this is a very nice skill to have to just, if groups running into trouble, to heal them up and get them back to where they need to be. Then Radiant Regeneration from the Restoration skill line. So it heals for 22k over 10 seconds, so it's about 2200 healing per second. It's really nice, affects up to 3 targets nearby. Works really well in dungeon content, but it just doesn't affect enough targets to be effective in trials. Moving on to Healing Springs, so it summons a circle of healing at the target location, has an initial heal of 1439 health and additional 1439 every 1 second for 8 seconds. So this is a AoE heal you put down on your group, so nice to boost their health up once it starts to drop in small amounts, so just to keep that level where you want it to be. Also restores magicka for every time I heal a target with this skill, so it's very nice to just boost my resource output to heal more if I have more resources available. Then Cleanse from the support skill line, so this clears up to 3 negative effects from my group members, and also if a negative effect is removed, it heals them for 5% of their max health. So this is a very nice skill to have if you want to clear debuffs or CCs off your friendly targets. So it just makes it a lot easier to heal if you don't have to heal through certain debuffs, or if people need to move out of the way of AoEs or stuff like that. It prevents the CCs from taking hold and they can move out, making your job easier. Be careful when using this build in some situations. Necromancer healers have a skill that applies the debuff to themselves and then gain a bonus from that. So this skill will clear off that negative effect they apply on themselves, so they don't tend to like having that negative effect pulled off if they need to reapply it every time. And then because I'm a sorcerer, I need to have a pet. So this is the Twilight Matriarch. It does some shock damage there, so 1300 shock damage, and also deals a nice kick that does additional 1300 shock damage. Once summoned, I can activate the skill again that heals myself and up to 2 friendly targets for 11k. So this is a very nice skill to have if you see a certain group member starting to struggle and getting low in health, or yourself are struggling to get low in health. It doesn't have a specific area like the restoration skill does there, so it can affect anybody behind you or anybody within that area. So it's a nice skill to just boost their health up and possibly survive the encounter. Then Reviving Barrier from the support skill line. So this grants a 40k damage shield for 30 seconds and also heals group members that have the shield for 19k health over 15 seconds. So this is a good skill if you need to save the group from certain content, if you're getting close to wiping or certain people are starting to struggle, or you know a massive skill is coming up from a boss. You definitely put this down, have that barrier on your allies, and it might save some lives and clear the content. Alright, moving on to the back bar. So I have Energy Orb from the Undaunted skill line. So it heals for 1200 every half a second, so that's about 2400 per second, which is really nice healing. It's got a 10-second duration, so you don't have to spam it. You can just drop it down every 10 seconds in your rotation, and that extra healing is added to your group. It also applies a synergy, which when activated heals for 8k and also restores some resources. And an ally who activates that synergy would gain extra resources from their Undaunted passives. Then I have Cleanse again on the back bar. The reason that I equip this skill on both sides is because Cleanse is a very opportunistic skill. So if the skill is needed, I would activate it. I don't have to swap around my bars and try and find the skill. So definitely have it available at all times so you don't miss that window of opportunity. Then I have Sanguine's Altar, which activates minor lifesteal on all enemies in the area. So anytime an ally attacks an enemy that has lifesteal on it, they heal for 650 health every 1 second. So this is a very nice boost to overall healing. The skill has a very long duration of 40 seconds. So you could just have to put this down once every 40 seconds and it will increase your total healing output. This skill also have a synergy, so once activated it will heal the ally for 40% of their max health. So if somebody is running into trouble, they can just activate this synergy and restore some resources and also gain that 40% of their max health, which might get them out of trouble and continue in combat. Then Power Surge from the class skill lines. So this grants me Major Sorcery, which increases my spell damage by 20%. So if I have increased spell damage, it also increases my total healing done. And this skill also has a nice effect where if I heal myself or an ally with a critical heal, the healing, I get an additional 2700 healing for myself and the allies around me as well. So this effect can occur once every 3 seconds. So this is a passive ability, so you don't have to have it on the back bar or on the front bar to be active. So if I'm on the front bar, do a critical heal, the entire group gets that additional healing as well. And then the Matriarch again, just to have it on both sides of the bars. And then Absorption Field. So this ultimate places the area, and then any AoE negative effects in the area is removed and no new effects can be added in the area. So this is very nice to use if you know the exact mechanics of a boss fight. To prevent your allies from standing in certain AoEs, you can drop it down and they can stand in the area and be safe from those AoEs. This skill also stuns all the enemies inside this area, so it's a very nice entry skill if there's a trash mob. And so you would enter, drop the skill down, they're stunned for 12 seconds and hopefully you can clear them out before those 12 seconds are up and they don't deal damage to your allies. The globe also heals for 1800 every half a second, so that's about 3600 health per second, which is really nice to just boost that healing of group members in the initial conflict. Alrighty guys, so that's the healing setup for this build. If you like the content I'm putting out, please hit that like and subscribe. If you have any ideas for builds that I need to do in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. Alright guys, take care and be safe. Bye.